Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to welcome all of you to the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium for today's annual commencement ceremony honoring Thomas R. Proctor High School's graduating class of 2021. Today is a very special day. It's a day filled with pride, and because we are here in person, it's even more special. On behalf of the Utica City School District's Board of Education, Superintendent Mr. Bruce Karam, the administration, faculty, and staff of Thomas R. Proctor High School, I would like to thank all of you for joining us. Now, would everyone please stand and recognize the Thomas R. Proctor NJROTC Color Guard as they present our nation's colors, while Alana Russell, under the direction of Miss Patty Scarmella, sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good. Thank you very much. That was an awesome job. To Alana and the members of the Color Guard, I'm so proud of you, and I greatly appreciate your participation in today's ceremony. Thank you. Before proceeding with the program, I would like to welcome our guests who are on stage and thank them for their continued support and also for sharing this special occasion with us. First, we have our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Bruce Karam. The President of the Utica City School District Board of Education, Mr. Lou Lapola. The Vice President of the Board of Education, Mr. Robert Cardillo. Board Member, Ms. Danielle Padula. Board Member, Mr. Anthony Lapola. District Administrator, Mr. Edward Simpson. And our Board of Education Clerk, Ms. Kathy Hughes. I would like to thank my assistant principals and Proctor's faculty and staff for their hard work, dedication, and presence here today. This was a very different year. Despite the challenges, they really stepped up and made the necessary adjustments to help our students reach this milestone moment today. And for that, I greatly appreciate their dedication and commitment to their work as educators. Thanks to all of you. And most of all, I'd like to welcome our guests of honor, Proctor High School's class of 2021. To the parents, families, and friends, as I mentioned earlier, it is so nice to be here with you in person today. Yes, we've endured a lot this year. However, the crowd we have here today is a testament to the level of love and encouragement each of these students has. As your child's principal, I want you to know this year more than ever, we very much appreciated the support you provided to your children, to Proctor High School, and to the Utica City School District. With that, I want to thank all of you. To the graduates, this day, June 25th, 2021, marks the pinnacle of your high school career. I have known many of you for a long time, some of you longer than others, but I want all of you to know that I've enjoyed being on this journey with you. Yes, this year was different, and the halls of Proctor High School felt empty most of the year without you. However, it's days like today where you really need to reflect on the experiences, accomplishments, and memories which far surpass beyond this school year. Think back to your years in elementary school, in middle school. Think about the friendships you've made, those days on the playground, the memorable sports moments, or perhaps the performances you've had. Think about your first days of high school, that piece of artwork you may have designed, and yes, think of all those moments of laughter you've had with your peers. Cherish these very special moments. I know I will. I've asked previous graduating classes to think about the imprint they want to leave on those behind them, but the class of 2021 has already left their imprint. With your grit and resilience, you've demonstrated the ability to confront challenges head-on. Your perseverance this school year has been very inspirational and truly defines what the class of 2021 is all about. As you continue your journey beyond high school, whether you've chosen to attend college, to join the workforce, or to serve our country in one of the armed forces, I challenge all of you to continue leaving your imprint while being mindful that some of the young children around you may be following your lead. Before moving on with the program, I encourage everyone to soak in this moment today and cherish your time with your loved ones. Because as we all know, these special moments don't come around often enough. At this time, I would like to introduce a person who has done a great deal for Proctor High School and the Utica City School District, Mr. Bruce Karam, Superintendent of Schools.
Thank you, Mr. Gifford. On behalf of the Board of Education and the Utica City School District, I would like to extend sincere congratulations to all of our graduates on this very special day. Graduation ceremonies are a time for reflection, celebration, and for giving thanks. I very much hope that each one of you in today's graduating class will celebrate your success because you certainly have earned it. I know that you'll also take the opportunity to show your gratitude to loved ones who have helped you reach this very important milestone in your scholastic career. As Superintendent of Schools, I am pleased to have this occasion to publicly thank your parents and families, your teachers, and all those who contributed to making this day possible. To you, the graduates, this event marks the culmination of much diligent study, determination, and hard work since you entered school so many years ago. Today, you have made yourself an important part of a continuing tradition of excellence for which the Utica City School District strives so hard to achieve. As you reflect upon this day, remember that this is the beginning of the rest of your life. We all hope that you will remember your high school years fondly as you grow older and that you will realize the importance that these experiences played in making you the person that you are today. Continue to be curious, to thirst for knowledge, continue to serve your community, continue to strive to be your best. Your future is very promising. Take advantage of all opportunities that come your way. Work hard in everything that you do and never, ever give up. On behalf of the Utica City School District, along with our faculty and staff, our great teachers, we applaud you and wish you much happiness and success in the future. We are all very proud of you. Good luck and congratulations, Thomas R. Proctor's class of 2021.
Thank you very much, Mr. Karam. At this time, I would like to invite Mr. Lapola, the President of the Utica City School District Board of Education, to come forward for a few brief remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Gifford. Welcome, class of 2021. We are very proud of you, considering the pandemic year, 18 months that we've had to go through. And this has been a tough school year for all of us, the superintendent, the teachers, the school board, parents, and of course, the students. We have been through unprecedented times, uncharted waters, and unclear direction because of the pandemic. But we have reached a point of an in-person graduation, something all of us wanted. You know, life is a big adventure, and life never follows a guidebook. Some people wish they knew what was going to happen tomorrow. Some of us don't want to know, but it did happen to us this year. I think thank yous are in order, as President of the Board of Education, on behalf of the board, to a number of people. To the superintendent, Mr. Karam. He was our leader. He was the captain of the ship. And he had to make decisions for a school system that fronts 13 elementary buildings and over 11,000 students. Some like the decisions, some don't, but they had to be made. Thank you for the Board of Education, Vice President Cardillo and board members Anthony Lapola as well as Danielle Padula, for working together with the superintendent on the direction that he wanted to take. And of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't thank the teachers, the unsung heroes. They worked with you during remote, they worked with you in person, and they had to adjust their ways so that you could be here today at an in-person graduation. We want to thank the parents. Look at this gallery for their patience and understanding. They're so proud of you, and we're happy that they came to support you. It means a lot. But most of all, the students, the class of 2021. You're willing to deal with the unexpected. Once a Raider, always a Raider. But happiness is there if you let it be. Some days I think you just have to create your own sunshine. The one thing I'd like to leave you with is never stop believing. Believing in the friendships that you will make, believing in your parents and family, believing in yourself that things can happen. You can do anything and everything is possible. I would like to leave you with the comments that to be safe, to be well. God bless, and thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Lapola. Next, we are going to recognize our valedictorian. This student is graduating with an overall average of 99.824 and plans to attend Cornell University in the fall, where he will major in engineering and physics. It is my honor to introduce to you the valedictorian of Proctor High School's class of 2021, Ryan Byrne.
Good afternoon, class of 2021. Today, I'm not going to talk about the pandemic. I want to keep my speech short and sweet. I want to tell a story that we've all lived through. So I decided I'll start off with, you guessed it, a quantum physics concept called wave function collapse. A physicist named Max Planck summed it up like this: when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. But in real life English terms, I'm really asking one question here. How can we turn perspective into inspiration? First off, I'm not going to talk about the stress that COVID-19 has brought upon us. I mean, who are we to get stressed about things? We've been using Zoom all the time, sure, but what happens when we zoom out? We're all really just a conscious collection of protons, neutrons, and electrons mushed together into different patterns, living on some random planet tens of thousands of light years away from the center of some random galaxy. We might be stressed out every day. We might even be a little insecure about ourselves. But if you look at it from this angle, it all seems a little silly, right? I promise, I won't talk about the mistakes that we've made as a result of the pandemic either. We just wouldn't have time for that. My mistakes alone would probably take up at least 3 hours. By then, the room would be empty, tassels would not be turned. But you know, the more mistakes I've made, the more I've realized that failure isn't always something to be afraid of. By viewing failure as a tool, I started to fail less and less. This is something that might be difficult to see, but it's something that everybody has the chance to find out. Humility is a prerequisite for every class, so open your minds to failure, and you might just learn your way to success. Look, I'm not going to talk about how the coronavirus blocked us from reaching our goals this past year. Although I will say this, from Rosa Parks to Picasso, from Gandhi to Amelia Earhart, from Kobe Bryant to Isaac Newton, no matter how successful someone was in their lifetime, you can be sure that the world has knocked them down, that they've fallen on their face, and that they've gotten back up. This is why I wanted to tape my speech inside a biography on Albert Einstein. It's a story of his life, because every inspirational story has its highs and its lows, and life is no exception. Whether we want to admit it or not, failure is usually more relatable than success. But if they all faced challenges and they still got where they wanted to be, why can't we? Our planet has been alive for 4.5 billion years. An 80-year blip is the only thing differentiating me from Gandhi and you from Picasso. When I was first writing this speech, I had to make a decision. Should I stick with a positive tone and ignore the pandemic, or should I talk about it? At first, I actually tried my best to leave it out. But then it hit me. How can I possibly ignore any of this? This is who we are now, and nothing, not even time, will change that. But you know, this doesn't mean our story has to be a sad one. There comes a time in any struggle, just like the pandemic, when you yourself have to decide whether to start losing hope or to start accepting your misfortune and carrying on. And if you choose that second option, if you realize that this is all part of life, you might just realize that there was never any misfortune to begin with. Because guess what? You were going to get knocked down a little anyways. It happens to every one of us. But this year, we all got knocked down together. This year, we faced the pandemic head on. And sure, there were plenty of challenges along the way, but look at where we are now. And from the bigger picture, if we ever want to push ourselves to our limits later on, it helps to know where our limits are in the first place. The relentless, fear-provoking pandemic has been kind enough to do this part for us. So no, I didn't talk about the pandemic. I think the pandemic spoke for itself. We might be turning the page towards a new chapter of life, but this doesn't mean that, as painful as it was, we have to rip out the page of 2020. The pandemic will always have plenty of lessons to teach, but it's up to us to listen. As I finish up here, I think some thank yous are in order. No matter how hard any of us have worked to get here, there were plenty of people who helped us along the way. From friends to family, faculty to staff, school administration to teachers, to our principal, superintendent, and school board, and to all of our courageous healthcare workers, we thank you for making these 4 years, especially this past year, a high school experience to remember. Now, before I leave this podium, I want to make something very clear. I'm really here right now for one reason, and that's inspiration. Inspiration is what happens when you take a challenge and you turn it into a learning opportunity. Inspiration is what happens when you change the way you look at things, in quantum physics and real life alike. In fact, standing up here today, I wanted to return the favor by inspiring all of you. Because after everything we've made it through, as the diverse graduating class that we are, all of you have certainly inspired me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ryan. It's been my pleasure having Ryan as a student since middle school. I commend you and the rest of the top 10 on your achievements and wish you the very best. Thank you again. Without further ado, I would like to turn the program over to Mrs. Alexis McCarroll, our Guidance Counselor Department Chairperson, as we present the diplomas. Will the first row of students please proceed to the stage?
James O'Toole, Michael Pacheco, Austin Packett, Andrea Pajazetovich, Janae Pajazetovich, Asia Panuccio, Abigail Pape, Tulsi Patel, Ayana Patterson, Jack Pate, Chris Paw, Asansan Paw, Etumwi Paw, Gablu Paw, Serkapa Paw, Sergey Paw, Laju Pa, Thada Pa, Kyasia Pearson, Asis Pemberton, Jakeem Penn, Amani Penny, Alejandra Perez, Alyssa Peters, Lindsay Peters, Ara Fa, V Pham, Brianna Phillips, Nija Phillips, Sabe Fo, Jakai Pierce, Jefferson Pimentel, Jamalet Pineda, Angelina Potter, Meldon Poturovich, Alan Prescott, Anthony Priori, Sarah Purick, Hai Pui, Mohammed Karkoz, Tio Rasik, Ariana Rafferty, Allison Ramirez, Christopher Torres, Randy Ramos Montoya, Angel Ramos, Tiffany Ramos, Kajalani Ramos Quinones, Angelina Raymonda, Antoine Reese, Carolyn Riley, Sine Revel, Lynn Ree, Isabella Reitmeyer, Eladio Rios, James Rivera, Jaden Rivera, Marcus Rivera, Louis Robinson, Roy Robinson. Jason Robinson Adams. Ann Rodriguez. Ethan Rodriguez. Jadalyn Rodriguez. Wendelin Roman. Alexia Rosado. Francis Rosario. Brianna Ruggiero. Jonathan Rush. Alana Russell. Azar Rusnick. Matthew Rycraft. Demir Reese. Morella Sabanik. Riziki Siddiqui. Ismar Selkik. Sean Sam. LaShanta Sanchez Felton. Sosiret Santana. Wines Khalis Santiago Rivera. Jaylee Santiago. Brianna Santos. Shinery Sao. Gado So. Kaylee Kendra Say. Ladia Say. Paula Say. Breezy Scalise. Carolyn Schmidt. Kiara Scott. Champrell Scott. Tharea Shaban. Vanessa Shelley. Elizabeth Shepard. Raya Sheridan. Jada Sherman. Jennifer Shine. Anthony Shoa. Urshui Sin. Ernez Skilgan. Ah Sit. Caleb Slover. A. Kilar So. Sarah Sun. Imani Spivey. Dennis Stark. Trinea Stone. Alyssa Story. Sabina Suba. Suryana Suba. Sokley Sum. Edvin Tabakovich. Brianna Stiles. Genesis Takuri. Hanadi Tajir. Berend Isaac Tamang. Quido Ta. Shania Taylor. Atharmi Thaw. Eltheuin Thaw. Mula Ser Thay. Sir Thee. Brandon Thomas. Kiara Thomas. Nasiah Thomas. Quadir Thomas. Nyasia Tillery. Nalani Tobe Robinson. Olivia Tobias. Kamajiana Tolbert. Ayler Shaw 2. Roger 2. Norma Torres. Jennifer Tran. Kimberly Tran. Ethandar Tun. Leonardo Tun. Nang Tun. Thansei Tun. Armani Turner. Anthony Turturro. Suzette Valcarcel. Joshim Valadares. Michael Vasquez. Nani Vasquez. Omar Vasquez. Maida Veljasic. Sheila Wa. Lair Wa. Mai Wa. Anthony Wallawender. Seyron Webb. Sahido Hassan, Victoria Vo, Tui Vung, Blue Larwa, Serne Sewa, Asir Wa, Caitlin Watts, Tatiana Warren, Derek Watzowitz, Makai Walls, Salvatore Velarde, Nidasia Walker, Taylor Walker, Brianna Wallace, Po Wee, Ariana Williams, Huron Williams, Quashir Williams, Malaysia Wilson, Yasmin Wilson, True Win, Ugumba Unisi, Jalen Wright, Andrew Winder, Rabea Marie Yatase, Yusuf, Adam Zamanek,
How about a round of applause for the graduates? At this time, one of our graduating seniors, Victoria Vo, will join me on stage to accept the diplomas on behalf of the senior class.
Wow, there's a lot of people in here. We have come to a part of the ceremony that holds great significance to us as graduates, as it is steeped in tradition. The moving of the tassel is called turning the tassel. It symbolizes one's transition from candidate to graduate. At this time, I accept the diplomas on behalf of the class of 2021. Please join us in moving our tassels from right to left, becoming official graduates of Thomas R. Proctor High School. They always say, what would we do if we didn't graduate? I guess we'll never know. Congratulations, senior class of 2020.
Thank you, Victoria. As we close out the ceremony, I wish the class of 2021 the very best as they move on to the next chapter of their lives. Be happy and safe, and regardless of what path you're taking, remember most importantly to be good people while representing yourselves and your family with dignity. Please know that I'm very proud of each and every one of you and congratulate you on this great achievement. At this time, we will begin our procession out. We will begin with our first row, and I ask that everyone remain seated and recognize all of our graduates one more time as they leave the floor.